Oh, it's been a hell of a season. The fucking shit was fully packed, full, action-packed, full of fucking bunch of really cool, interesting things. Yeah, this season has met its doom. Let's listen to some black metal music. Alright, welcome to the Season 8 finale of the Vault of Doom podcast. I'm Mickey GemInEye. I've got notes. This time I have notes. It's been a really good season. I had some fucking guests on here with more technical difficulties. Synchronized all the episodes that are on Spotify are now also on YouTube. And so I'm probably thinking about even expanding out to Acast and maybe giving them a shot. But I've already not only been over how I feel about that, and I think it's kind of lame and bogus and won't do any good and everything. But luckily the whole season is going to take care of that. Let me give you some foresight on what to expect, as I'm still got done working through the origin stories and stuff. There'll be plenty of stories to tell and everything, but now I've got to get through all the interface with user interface and like how I'm fucking dealing with all this stuff, because it has to be realistic, and there's probably so much that I can't add because I want to just come right out and say things like these fucking things. I feel like I'm fucking being like a piece of me is just being fucking ripped out every fucking chance that I get. Oh, speaking of story time, like, oh, it pisses me off. But like, it doesn't. I don't think that's reality though. I don't think it has to be that way. I think that I'm gonna get through this next season where I'm gonna deal with all that. Whatever. Maybe I'm racing against time. Maybe I'm battling against something. Maybe there's some way that you could help. I don't know. Other than your 2-minute watching, like I'm going over my analytics now in my head and all this stuff, or whatever. And I don't know, but I'm definitely good at this. This is definitely something I like to enjoy doing. But god damn, I spend so much time worrying, going back and forth in my head that it helps if I just take the notes down. So luckily I do have some notes for this season. So let's get into the actual fucking factual for a second here and see what we got. I'm really happy with the diversity of topics in this season. I covered some stuff on user interface. I had a guest on the show. Before this season is finished, technically, with all the promoting and sharing to various websites and social media. I at least scheduled being a guest, giving a guest appearance on someone else's show. So I don't know whenever that episode goes up, if my next season starts up before or after it, I don't know. But I'm locked in a spot on someone else's show, so I'm scheduling that up and getting that going. So cheers for that. Speaking of being happy with the diversity of topics, and I'm happy with that I can drink beer, but I did not drink beer on a lot of these episodes, so I think that's what I'm going to be ending up wanting to do, especially because what the next season is consisting of, probably going to need a lot of beer to get through it, because I just want to fucking sit here and talk about music, man. I don't want to fucking go all crazy on conspiracy theories. I don't want to fucking talk about digitalized, artificial fucking universe, artificial fucking vagina, artificial fucking penis, artificial fucking vagina. See, the artificial penis goes inside the artificial vagina, and you make it artificial intelligent. I don't know. Anyway. I'm scheduling some more guests on my show, and they should be mostly Doom. As the show is called Vault of Doom, I think that because I already am not too happy with the topics I've laid out for myself next season, I'm just going to invite plenty of Doom artists. I like my Doom. I like my Doom metal. Not the biggest fan of it. It's not my particular flavor of metal, per se, but I do like it. So I think it should be a good go. I should have a good go around at it. So shout out to you guys ahead of time for wanting to be on the Vault of Doom here with me. I think I'm going to have no problems working out the technical difficulties ever again. I mean, just the same way that I have to do a whole season on user interface and how I feel like these things change with my help in every way that I interact with it. I think I'm the same way now. I'm basically like a fucking AI machine that generating fucking solutions for my technical difficulties. We used to say before all this stuff, you live and you learn. That's what you used to say. Live and learn. Live and learn. That's all you used to say. You didn't have to fucking go into all these specific details. Because I find it really hard to believe. Everybody finds all this very interesting. I was never fascinated by any of it. Still never going to be. So let's just, you quote me on that. I'll leave it at that. Diversity of topics this season was really good. I talked about plenty of stuff. I don't feel like throwing anything specific out there. It's a good season. I'm happy with the selection of topics. This is the season that I synchronized those episodes for YouTube to be the same ones that are on YouTube are the same ones that are on Spotify. So now I can, if I want, expand, try to get more of an audience this way, because obviously I'm locked in, gridlocked at the moment. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. And my thoughts on these final episodes. I mean, I fucking worked so hard at this. Like, I hardly feel any kind of way about it other than it's the end of the season. That's all I feel about it. Like, I worked so hard at it that I'm actually finding it even hard to believe that I'm actually even working that hard on it, honestly. I don't think that hey, nobody's safe from being over dramatic. Especially not me. This is going to be, I think that the final episodes just helped me kind of re-solidify how I was already feeling about my self-awareness level. Like, I'm self-aware of myself while I'm doing this, and then on my final episodes, I'm like, well, I'm just re-solidifying that I'm self-aware of it, so you can fix that problem by engaging with me in the comments section and stuff like that. Not that being self-aware is a problem in and of itself, it's just that it's kind of extremely persistent, it can definitely crop up and create more potential issues. But I think the final episodes of the show, I think what I was referring to when I wrote that down in the notes is the ones prior to these right here. I was referring to the ones before these, where I was happy with those diversities, and I want to say, and I have to say that I think these were very regimented. That these were like, I got it my way kind of thing. The previous episodes before these was like really good. It felt like I really got it my way. Like I really did it the way that I wanted to, and that's good. So I feel pretty good about it. And what's my way? What are the details? I don't know. Watch the shows. All the basic intros are done. That's one thing I was just going over. All the basic intros and my origin stories, how long I've been doing this. You don't have to hear me constantly repeating over and over again how long I've been doing this, or however many, things that can potentially seem like I'm complaining. And now I can focus more on the desired discussions, like the music and all the things that go with it, the tech. And this is great. Being able to talk more about the music with all the new music that I have coming out. I have to also pay a lot of attention and focus towards all the new music that I have coming out. This is my second or third time announcing that I'll begin editing on my next EP, and that's really all that it is. It's literally a visual EP with songs exclusive to it, to the project. The songs don't go anywhere else. They're literally exclusive to there. And all starting with Pitiful Atrocities. Now I got fucking some editing to do while I'm working on the music. I wouldn't even consider this music. I think it's literally supposed to be I would literally think it's supposed to be some kind of bit of a prank or something funny. It should definitely be funny, as I've added actual comedy skits in there. So, should be setting the premise. I won't give anything away, but there's no spoiler alert either. But there is a special surprise in there for you. There's a special surprise in there. How about that? How about it? And with all the basics done, let's talk about the artist here that I interviewed, because this artist, let's see, I didn't find this last artist through the algorithm, and I think, as most of the times, I don't find it. What's an algorithm, what's not an algorithm might be the question already immediately popping up in your head if you want to challenge me on this. An artist that I initially find on an algorithm who promotes another artist is defined as not part of an algorithmic discovery. I didn't discover this artist through algorithm. So if I discovered the artist originally through an algorithm who showed me this other artist, is aside from the point that the artist that I found here was not found through algorithm. So this last artist that I found through algorithm, what I think it has done is provided me the opportunity to basically appear sort of like an algorithm. I literally appear like an algorithm with the way that it was done, because the last 3 artists interviewed on the show in a row were all from the same country. So it ain't saying much. I'm not saying a whole lot with that either, considering that the last 2 artists were on the split together, and I'm just getting both the people on the same album together. But I know some people find this important, some people don't. It might be a difficult change to transform yourself into coming to the realization of entering and stepping into this world of these kind of details. But these details are probably important to some people. I mean, they're only minusculely important to me, as I'm right up there along with them. I'm just basically the same person as them. And so I have this note that I wrote down, and then I reviewed it when writing the note down. Upon the first review, I was like, whoa, wait a second, this does not sound right. I think I might have fucking let my emotions get the best of me or something. I don't know what the fuck happened. Or I'm looking too far into the details or something. Something's wrong here. Something's not quite right here. Because the artist that I interviewed, and his guest appearance had generated some comments. It invoked some comments. The proper word would probably be invoked some comments in me, to where I looked at it's not the previous guest, but the one before that, that I looked at a comment somebody said about our show, about my show. He called me a poor host, and that was good because I can handle it. I can handle the corrective criticism and all that, and constructive criticism and everything. But he provided a potential interface that I can use. So what I did as a reaction, and this is shout outs to them 13 minutes in, that what I did as a reaction was say, okay, well then I want to lump these guys up now in the same interface to where at least give them the credit to where from interviewing you guys, I was at least inspired to utilize this potential interface where I want you to have the credit for it. And then how does that sound? How does that actually sound? How do you actually feel about it? Kind of thing. And then like, well, maybe not. You know, maybe it's just giving the shout out now. I'm giving the potential for credit here and now. And then when I use that interface that was suggested from a viewer, I'll use that interface and then I'll keep you in mind. You know, it used to be live and learn, and then it used to be the thought that counts, or I'll keep you in mind, kind of thing. Or I did this with you in mind. It's just very difficult to remember this stuff nowadays when you're working at this level, honestly. So I have to do it this way. So, but I don't think I'm looking too far into details or too emotional about it. I think what I want is to associate it with these guys the same way that it's a lot better than if somebody did something bad to you and then you're racist all of a sudden. Or if a Chinese person did something to you, if you're a black guy and a Chinese person did something to you, and now all of a sudden you have trauma from Chinese people, and then, you know, that's not a good thing. But this is that this country, these musicians from this country generated these comments from me hosting them on my show, and now I feel this way about them. So it's like, it's kind of like trauma, but not bad. And then, you know, how do you go farther than that? I don't know. So they're suggesting the format specifically in writing. That's what it was. But you know, I'm cool and fine with and like my video interviews and like us being able to chat on here. Although I'm not crediting any of the mainstream for inspiring me to do that, and that's because they're mainstream. They don't need any credit. And as much anti-mainstream as I want to try to be, the two are always forever intertwined. So I won't have much else to speak on that. That's why I'm moving on to. I want these to be remembered that I'll be saying I'm doing this interface. I did this format with you in mind. Written interviews. Also in this season, what we have other than the specific topics are reruns, artist spotlight. Even though that's a specific topic, but artist spotlight. All the episodes that, in doing the reruns and seeing what was missing from each Spotify and YouTube, I had to do bootleg, pirated, and some of those bootleg and pirated versions are glitched. And there's some glitched. There's some glitch. I only experienced glitches in one episode, the conspiracy theory episode. The one conspiracy theory episode was like literally just out there for me to pick on it, kind of thing. It must be. The world is already fucking doomed. The world is already doomed. The world is doomed. And then these conspiracy theory episodes got to come in here and get glitched. Because that episode got glitched. I uploaded it. It didn't get uploaded. Instead, somehow I uploaded the same episode twice as the other episode. I uploaded at the same time as it. And then it was glitched. So I had to remove it, redo the whole thing because it was wiped before I could even get the chance. And redoing it turned out pretty good, as usual. This is just kind of the nature of what I think I'm up against, and I'm going to tackle these sort of issues I'm going to tackle next season, is that all my digital hygiene is in direct conflict with putting out any good quality or any good of fucking anything of any of this shit. Because if it wasn't for my good digital hygiene, I wouldn't have had to redo that episode, and I wouldn't have had so many fucking interviews. 4 interviews that did not make it on here, and instead I had to just create my own narrative. And anybody, not that they would, but anybody can just say I'm lying. And it's not about fucking any of that at all. Don't want to fucking be there at all. It's about just fucking put it out. Just put the shit out. Just put the fucking shit out. Everybody else is everybody else. I'm me. I'm pretty sure we're gonna tackle that head on next fucking season and see what's in store. Anyway, the engagement that I'm complaining about not getting still is there. I still have some engagement, and that is including but not limited to some of the people that say things like, "Hey, your video looks like it was made on the dark web," and then what do I say to that? Like, "Thank you," something like that. And then is there any problem with anybody else that they don't get, that anybody gets? You're never quite reaching anything that you're trying to reach out and grab on this fucking thing. Or is there somebody else that can use the tool less intentionally or less time consuming? Or am I just going to be competing up against an actual something instead of my own personal challenges? I mean, it's AI that I'm talking about. I'm talking about AI. I'm saying that's ultimately what's growing and getting better because of missed footage or deleted footage or glitched episodes, or that I have to bootleg my own episodes just to put them on there in synchronizational ways. Then if I'm not going to do that, then what are the only logical things I can think in my head? Change my digital hygiene and like basically water down my own quality? Fuck that. That really fucking pisses me off. This is what I'm experiencing. Who am I seeding? Who am I hosting? Who else is experiencing this because of this? There might be two sides to the whole thing. Maybe someone's benefiting from it too, other than a machine or a robot. I don't know, but it is the season fucking finale, so you can wrap it up right fucking now. There's plenty of fucking other shit to deal with and address. If you didn't fucking get it by now, then get it right now by liking, sharing, subscribing. Hit up the link tree, follow me on socials, engage with me, share with your friends. Share these videos. I've got a lot of other things to say on this episode, but I think I'm also going to make this one short, sweet, to the point. I gotta fucking go. The world is doomed.